the Vauxhall Junior Championship sees the teams move north to Scotland and the Ingliston racetrack. David Cuff has qualified on pole position, and he currently lies second in the championship, just 1 point behind the man who qualified fourth, Kevin McGarrity. Local drivers are expected to go well here, and Dario Franchitti lines up second on the grid. But Sasha Pearl, who showed many of the men the way round in testing, has only qualified a disappointing 11th.
Practice today hasn't been too good. It went well yesterday and the day before. I was second quickest on Friday and down to fourth yesterday, but I don't know, today it's just not going well at all. But the race is a different thing altogether. It's a nice track, it's just the barriers are very close and people are a bit frightened of them. It's just a matter of overcoming the fact that they're there, just forgetting them.
We had a bad setup in qualifying and we haven't been really working that well in testing, but we changed the car for the race and hopefully we're going to go better on that.
Have you been to Ingliston before?
I haven't, no. It's the first time here. I got quite a shock when I went around it, yeah. It's very tight and twisty.
You've had a little bit of experience of, haven't you?
Yeah, we've been here once before on a test day. It's a very, very tight circuit. You don't get much chance to take a breather. You know, it requires quite a lot of concentration. 20 laps is more than we normally do, although the distance-wise it's the same. But it's always harder completing more laps rather than a longer circuit.
Especially difficult around Ingliston, where there are very few places to pass. David Cuff then will line up on pole position, 0.02 of a second faster than his teammate Dario Franchitti. Cuff really does need to win here, or at least finish ahead of McGarrity to keep the pressure on him for the championship. Franchitti, whose season has been getting better and better since that disappointment at the first round of the series, where the car broke when he was in the lead in second place. Then the Mexican, Freddie Van Buren, whose season has been improving all the while, at second place so far, but still no win for him. Confirmation of those grid placings then, with Cuff and Franchitti on the front row, Van Buren and then McGarrity, the championship leader, on row 2, then Guerrero and Sonnencher making up row 3. So then to the start, and keep an eye out for Cuff. He's not made the best of starts so far this year, going away from pole position there, but he makes a beauty this time at Ingliston. Cuff it is that leads through the first corner. Freddie Van Buren up to second, third quickest in practice, ahead of Franchitti, who's relegated to third as they go through the S's for the first time. Cuff then in front, Van Buren looking towards the inside there. Franchitti locking up a break just ahead of McGarrity. Those are the first four, with David Sonnencher a little further back, Marco Vignali further back than he would expect to be after going so well earlier on in the season. With Cuff in charge, but only just from Van Buren. Franchitti, and now look at Guerrero coming down the inside there. And Franchitti has got Guerrero on one side of him, McGarrity on the other. A very tight battle indeed there for third place. Cuff in the lead though, with about a car's length advantage over Van Buren. McGarrity though is now up to third. David Sonnencher pulling off on the right of your picture, and off there goes number 12, Chris Longmore. Cracks the barrier, and I suspect that will be Longmore's race run. Franchitti now fighting back at McGarrity on the inside there. McGarrity though just holding the line through the S's. Become the leading pack once again. Van Buren tied to the tail of Cuff there. Then a gap, then this tremendous distance going on for third place. McGarrity in charge, and Franchitti is off there. Goes Luca Alessandrini and Carlos de Souza. And I don't think that either of those two will be taking any further part in the race. Now on the inside of Franchitti there is Guerrero, trying to snatch that place away. He hasn't made it, but Franchitti has dropped back a little bit from McGarrity while he worries about the pressure that's coming on him from behind from Guerrero. Now a retirement there in the shape of number 11, Gary Moynihan, who qualified in an excellent 7th position. As we take a look at a replay of that incident on the first lap, James Thompson there coming into contact with number 12, Chris Longmore, and that is Longmore's race run. Back now with the leading pack, and McGarrity has started to get pressured again from Franchitti. Franchitti has got away from Guerrero a little bit and is starting to apply the pressure now, down towards the hairpin. And indeed, all 5 of these cars are starting to close up a little bit more now. David Cuff not getting away from Van Buren as he would wish at the front of the field. And then a small gap, but that gap decreasing all the time to McGarrity and then Franchitti, who's really putting a lot of pressure now on McGarrity. Cuff and Van Buren in front. arena they go. Next man up is Guerrero. Van Buren getting very, very close indeed to the rear of the leader's car there, as is Franchitti to McGarity. And it looks very much as though we might get a change for either the lead or for third place at the moment as Van Buren tries on the outside. That's not the place to do it, as Franchitti's about to find out as well. And Franchitti, I think, touched the back there of McGarity's car briefly. Now, here come the leaders once again. Through goes Cup, and McGarity getting very sideways at the back of the pack there. And again, McGarity with a huge handling problem of some sort, very much out of shape indeed, and that lets Franchitti and Guerrero through as they go through the arena there and down towards the S's, and McGarity spins. McGarity has lost it. The championship leader is in the barrier, and that could well be his championship chances gone. It looked very much, from the way that the car was oversteering, as though there might have been something wrong with the rear of it. As you can see, the car is crabbing there almost before he's turned into the S's. And Kevin McGarity really was just a passenger in that one once it had gone. David Cuff still leads from Van Buren. Those are the first two, as we get another retirement, this time in the shape of Sasha Pearl, the Scots lady with the rear suspension very much deranged on her car there. Franchitti in third place, Guerrero in fourth. And these two now going past the yellow flags where McGarity had that accident. Franchitti now trying to close the gap on the leading pair. Van Buren putting more and more pressure on David Cuff. And it looks to me as though if the Mexican could get past Cuff, he might well pull away from him. That, of course, is one of the problems here at Ingliston. There aren't that many passing places. Jeff Prince there, one of the older Formula Vauxhall Junior drivers at 29, with a bit of rallying experience in his first year of single-seaters. As we go back to this battle for the lead, Van Buren has a look there on the inside of Cuff, and he's as close now as he's been at any stage as they come through the arena. Now, this could be Van Buren's chance. Right tucked in tight on the tail of David Cuff there, through the S's. Now watch for him to pull to the inside here. He does it, and he goes through. A beautiful manoeuvre there by Van Buren as Cuff rides up over the back of Van Buren's car. And that might well have deranged Cuff's suspension. Van Buren looked to slow momentarily as he came out of the corner there. That's allowed Franchitti to catch up. And I wonder whether or not that will have done any damage to Cuff's car. Another tremendous dice here. Julian Porter working his way up through the field after a terrible qualifying session, qualifying only 19th here on the inside of Gonzalo Beja. And Porter goes up the slot. A lot of pressure there, and Beja takes evasive action as Jeff Prince comes around the outside of him. Or does he know he drops back a slot there? 28th is Tyler Hellerman. And 9th there in the middle of that group is Guy Farrant. And Porter looking for a way past on the inside of him. Back with the leaders now, with Van Buren having a huge lead over Cuff. Cuff's got pressure on him from his teammate there, Franchitti, and Guerrero has dropped back to a safe fourth place behind these three. Now look at this. This is the dice for 5th, 6th and 7th. Jules Gilson there on the inside of Marco Vignali. James Thompson, the man behind, and Gilson and Thompson touch there. And Gilson may well lose that place. Thompson on the inside of him as they come down towards the hairpin, and Thompson goes up a spot. Gilson goes down one. And all may not be well with the handling of that car. Now as Freddie Van Buren comes out of the arena with a comfortable lead over Cuff, Franchitti, and then Guerrero. There is Cuff, who'll be the championship leader if he can hang on and collect at least 1 point in this race. And he looks all set to collect a few more than that. The second place at the moment, just ahead of his teammate Dario Franchitti. Franchitti, the Scotsman on home ground, unable to provide any answer to Cuff. Now, what's going on with this dice behind? Vignali and Gilson is now back behind Thompson and seemingly unable to challenge. Gilson there looking to have something of an understeer problem. Keep an eye on that dice as we look back there at the leading trio. Here's fourth place man, brother of Roberto Guerrero, former Grand Prix star, now drives Indy cars in the States. And back now with the leader, Freddie Van Buren from Mexico. 19 years old, Mexican karting champion in 1989, and in control at the moment over David Cup. Now Gilson desperately wants that place back off Thompson, but Thompson doesn't want to give it away. In fact, he wants to snatch fifth away from Vignali at the moment. Franchitti now looks to have settled for third place. He's dropped back, he's given a little bit of ground to Cup. Teammates now look to have settled for second and third behind Freddie Van Buren. Here comes Guerrero, another 19-year-old, winner at Brands Hatch. And the points for fourth place will come in very handy indeed. Now Van Buren, Cup, Franchitti, then Guerrero. Those are the first four, and you can see the gap between fourth and fifth place coming up now, as here comes Marco Vignali ahead of James Thompson, and there's no Jules Gilson now. Gilson has disappeared, so just the dice for fifth and sixth now, with Gilson having been removed from the fray and Thompson trying everything he knows to find a way past Vignali. The leading group once again on the final lap now. And coming into the arena this time, Thompson there on the inside of Vignali, a cheeky move that, and he snatched that place away, and Thompson is now up to fifth. So Thompson goes fifth, Vignali now back to sixth. Now what will Marco Vignali try and do about that? Thompson's very quick in there. Vignali right tight on the gearbox of the blue car. Looks on the outside under braking for the hairpin, but that's not the place to do it. And I don't think he'll get the drive out of the hairpin either. Through goes Van Buren, then Cuff in second place. Cuff has pulled a little bit of ground back, but it won't make any difference now. Freddie Van Buren comes up, waves his arm in the air and takes the checkered flag for his first win in Formula Vauxhall Junior. And a fine drive too from the Mexican. A win then for Van Buren. David Cup comes home in second place, and helping those championship chances along there, Dario Franchitti third, from Guerrero fourth, Thompson fifth, and Vignali in sixth. And so to the presentation. Now here's something that Freddie Van Buren hasn't had to do in Formula Vauxhall Junior before. Still manages to spray both Cuff and Franchitti. And David Cuff now, of course, leads the championship, with McGarrity failing to finish there. A good race then for Cuff, but an even better one for the Mexican, Freddie Van Buren.
It was going to be a close race here, we all knew that, and I passed David, and then I could get a gap because Dario was pressuring David, so it was a good race.
When you passed him, I think you two touched, didn't you?
Yeah, well, it's always close in this formula, so. But it was just racing, touching, no problem.
And your thoughts for the rest of the rounds of the championship?
Well, I'm just trying to keep improving every time and see what happens.
You can't improve much more than first.
Well, no, but just every time just keep it up, no? Hopefully.
Well, there'll be more action from the Formula Vauxhall Junior Series next week when it moves to Donington Park, along with Formula Renaults from Donington and Mallory, and the GM Lotus Euro Series from Spa. Join us then on Power Sports International.